So the other day I was taking some pictures around the house, and sometimes it's tough to pose to your kids. And I took this shot of Lily holding a sort of an old, somewhat antique kind of camera, this lomography, the Diana or whatever, my wife's stuff. I don't know much about this, but anyways, and I thought this was a really cute picture. Unfortunately, I kind of cut her off of the shoulder. But I like the shot. I like her expression, and I want to do something with this. So I'm in software called Topaz Studio 2. All right, and I am going to convert this to black and white, and I am going to add an effect to it to make it look sort of old-fashioned, sort of to match the camera. We'll make some adjustments to her as well. All right, so this is not a free program, and it's a little bit expensive, but I think it's really cool. And I'll be using this quite a bit, in addition to things like Lightwave and Luminar. So, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to come over to Add Filter, and I'm going to click on AI Clear. And I don't have the fastest computer, and this is a big image right now, and so it's going to make some adjustments to that. It just sort of clears up a little bit of the noise. From this point, I can make other adjustments to my exposure and clarity, but I'm going to just go ahead and add some basic adjustments. And here, I think I'm going to add a little bit of clarity. And I might even add some more, get those details. And I'm going to, I think, maybe drop my shadows a bit. Maybe a bit more, increase the highlights. Essentially, I'm going to bring in some contrast. I could try, I think I'm good with that. I'm going to close that. Let's just move along. I'm going to go for curves next. And here I'm just going to bring up the highs a bit and drop the shadows. I'm going to do that. Let's not forget the mids. I'm going to go around there. And I will do one more. I think I'll do I want precision contrast? I might. And then I have some control over these. I want a nice contrast in here, so that I can do a nice black and white. Let's see what I got here. I'm gonna actually up my exposure a bit. Yeah, this one's gonna take a bit of time on the basic adjustment. Now I can click before and after, and I think at this point I'm going to add the black and white. Okay, so there's my black and white. Now if I click on this, I can see the before and the after, and what I'm doing is I'm looking for the main colors that are in here. So in her face, obviously there's orangey brown. So we come over here to these sliders, red, orange, yellow, green, blue. It's like the rainbow. And generally where there's orange, there's some red and there's some yellow. So although this is a black and white image, you'd think, well, there's no color. There's still some color information. So watch as I take the orange slider and I move it. If I move it all the way down, it does affect the image. All right. So I can use these to my advantage. If I bring it up, it brightens it like that. So I'm going to adjust the sliders around the orange and see what I like. I'm going to do one more. Let's do some detail here. Let's bring up some detail here, just to sort of sharpen it. Just like that. Okay, so we have that so far. Now, those were filters. I'm going to come over to add look, and under there's a whole bunch of them here. Under this grungy one, I'm going to choose this decaying laurels, and I'm going to let these load, and let this one load that I'm applying, and then I'm going to reduce the effect of this. Unless you want that effect, which looks very cool. I don't want quite that much. But that's the idea of kind of what I'm going for in this particular shot. Back there. There we go. Okay, I'm going to reduce that even a little bit more. Okay, that's what I'm liking right there. I want to do one more thing. I got to apply that to sort of stamp it in. I can still come in. This is the decaying laurels. That's what I just did. I can still come in and make adjustments to all of these. I'm going to do one more thing, and that is I'm going to come down to creative, and I'm going to choose focal blur. I'm going to move this up to her face and just make it a little bit more oval like this. And I'm going to reduce the blur. All right, so you see I've got the outside of her hair and her hands a little blurred as she's sharper in the middle, sort of drawing your attention into the middle. At this point, I just want to adjust that. There we go. A little bit less on her hands. Okay, I'm going to come over to resize. I'm going to go for 3000. You can see it before and after. Okay, this was what I had before, and this is what I've got after. And there you go. All right, that's my sort of black and white old vintage picture of Lily with the camera using Topaz.